Alrighty, so if you're a newer player or even a free-to-play player or an old-school player that just wants to sort of confirm maybe where to get diamonds and everything from, I wanted to make a gem guide because somebody asked me if I could sort of break down how to sort of get gems or farm gems in the game, and I assume that there's going to be a lot of new players coming into the game right now because of this new festival, and there's a lot of free stuff to get and everything. It's just a really good time to start the game, of course, because there's just so many free rewards and everything going on, and of course, with new festival banners comes, an influx of people needing gems to summon for the new banner. So we're going to go over a couple of different categories and different ways that you can sort of get gems. There's not necessarily a way that you can infinitely farm gems, obviously. This is a gacha game, which is riddled with microtransactions, so one of the biggest ways to get gems, if you're not actually actively playing the game or anything, you just need gems fast, it's going to be spending money. So do take that into consideration. The only way that you can infinitely farm gems is if you upgrade equipment to 5-star. If you don't know, you can go to your equipment. This is a 4-star piece. If I enhance it to a 5-star piece, that means I will get 1 gem as a token or like a bonus for upgrading the piece. So that is the only way that you can just guarantee yourself a diamond, basically. It depends on how many materials you sort of have in your inventory and everything. If you can infinitely do that, of course, obviously you can't do it infinitely, but you could do it a decent amount to get some gems back at the very least. So obviously, first and foremost, the one thing you want to make sure that you're doing is your daily tasks. These are just easy tasks that you can do. There's normally 4 diamonds each day. I think there's like 3 different sets of dailies that you get. I think it's like Sunday and Monday have the same tasks. I think Tuesday through Thursday or Friday have the same tasks, and then there's like a different set of tasks either on Friday or Saturday or something like that. I can't remember exactly. I just do whatever the game tells me to do. I don't really pay attention to like when it changes. But yeah, if you do all of your dailies in a day, there are a couple of different ones that will actually give you gems. So this is roughly 4 gems a day, depending on which tasks are currently going on. If you need sort of like a calculator or anything, I did make a spreadsheet a while back where it actually shows you different ways that you can get gems and everything throughout the week or the month, and you can sort of calculate, how many gems you're going to have during a certain time period. This, I think, is kind of helpful for like festival times where you need to know, can I get enough gems in a month to guarantee myself like finishing the banner or whatever the case may be. So you're going to get roughly 30 gems a week from your diamonds on the dailies, so you can, get those. Obviously, that's 1 multi's worth. There are weekly battle events that you would need to do as well. I know a lot of people don't really bother with these, but if you go to the special Fort Solgris and you go to the special dungeon, there is these like little battle events that will pop up. They just require you to do a couple of different challenges, and then once you complete all 4 of those challenges, you'll actually gain 2 gems as like the reward for completing them all. Sometimes they run 2 battle events a week. Sometimes they only run 1. This is one of the weeks where it's only 1 at a time. During this festival, for example, this is going to be something that's not really going to be applicable if there's not a festival going on, but during the festival right now, they actually have a Fort Solgris reward dungeon where you get a daily 2 gems. This only costs 1 stamina, so make sure that you're doing that. I think it's going to rotate tomorrow, if I had to guess, so that might not even be applicable by the time this video comes out. But if there is a festival going on, make sure you do the Fort Solgris reward dungeon, because it's normally just either really easy free stuff, or sometimes they do throw some gems in and everything, which is also very, very nice. One of the next things that we have here on the list is we have regular login bonus. Also, you can, if you're in an active guild, which I know that if you're maybe like a newer player, it can be kind of tough to get into a guild that's actually active. Some like old school players can't even get into active guilds just because a lot of the guilds that are in the game already are either already full and doing guild wars and, doing their thing, or it's people who are trying to do guild wars and they already have a full guild or blah, blah, blah. There's just, I don't know, there's not a whole lot of like guilds that are actively recruiting, especially if you're newer. They're looking for like higher end members and stuff like that. But I mean, hey, if you have a decent amount of people in a guild that can log in regularly, that is 1 gem login per day. So that's 7 gems total right there. There is a regular login. So if we go over here to Elizabeth, just the regular login bonus that happens throughout the game. Not this one right here. This is for the festival, like exclusively for 1 month. We get gems every single day for that. But if we go to the regular one, which is right here, you will get 5 gems. There's 2 weeks worth of login here, but you'll get 5 gems in 1 week twice. So that's 10 gems a week. So technically 20 gems in a month, or in a 2-week period. So you can also factor that in a little bit, which is kind of nice. Just honestly, playing the game is a really good way to get gems. Next thing that we can look at is PvP gems. PvP is going to be a little bit of a variable because it depends on how active you are playing the game and if you're willing to, push for different ranks and stuff like that. But if you go over here to ungeared PvP, you can basically look and see the weekly rewards. If you cannot de-rank out of this unless you're just incredibly inactive. I think if you don't play the game for an extended period of time, it will reset your rank all the way back down to bronze. But if you can at least push to champion, you cannot de-rank out of a bracket. So if you make it to champion, you can't get de-ranked back to masters. And at champ 5, even if you're just coasting and just collecting the rewards each week, you're not a PvP player, whatever, you'll just sit at champ 5 as long as you're active playing the game. That is a free guaranteed 50 gems a week, which is fantastic. That's almost 2 multis worth. And if you do have like a decent PvP team and you're willing to push and try to get extra rewards and stuff like that and move up the placement ladder, you can get a total of 60 gems here. Which is really nice. I guess technically if you place in like the top 100 in ungeared a week, you can technically get more gems if I'm not mistaken, but I'm actually not 100% sure on that. I never do that. So either way, that is basically just guaranteed gems on its own, which is fantastic. So make sure that you are, even if you're not going to be active in PvP, normally it's a lot of bots towards the lower brackets. You can just kind of climb effortlessly, pretty easily, even with, if you're starting a brand new account and you pull some of the like really good festival characters that are on the banner right now, you can probably take those units to the bank. You can probably just use those units to just climb ladders until you get to the point where you are fighting real players, and either take a break from it, just collect those gems where you're at, or as you sort of progress and work on those characters and work on your box and stuff like that, you can progress and try to get towards champion. Champion is obviously where the best placements and stuff like that and diamonds are going to be per week. If you're spending money on the game, I do recommend you get the either weekly subscription bundle or monthly subscription bundle. I buy both of those because I think that they're like just the best income of gems in the game. Most of the bundles in this game are going to be completely overpriced. If you want a decent bundle of gems all at one time, they're going to charge you way too many, dollars for it. So I don't recommend doing that. I feel like the subscription bundles are actually decently priced. They can be a little pricey, of course. Like, you're going to spend a lot of money on this game if you want a really good amount of gems, of course. But I like that the subscription bundles aren't necessarily like egregiously priced, and you get just consistent gems throughout the day or the week, each day, and that's really, really nice, to be honest. I just think that that's just the best value. You don't have to worry about spending a ton of money all at one time or anything. But if you're free to play, newer player, you don't want to spend money, completely understandable. Do not spend money if you don't want to. That is just a personal preference of mine. There are other things that you can get, like the Hawk Pass, and when you buy the monthly bundle, you actually get a 30 gem sort of bonus right there as soon as you buy it, which is cool, I guess. Irregular diamonds on here, so I have a different section for if they're running sort of any login bonuses or anything for festivals or whatever the case may be. Anything that I don't necessarily account for goes here. There is an event that they run from time to time where it's this daily task reward upgrade. It basically just like doubles the amount of gems, or not gems, but rewards that you get from your daily missions. So you can technically get extra gems per week by doing this one, if I'm not mistaken. So there's a checkbox for that. One of the other things that I have here is if there's a Labyrinth season going on. We're currently in a Heroes Arena season right now, so if you go to the battle section, you'll see that Heroes Arena is right here. There is not a Labyrinth season active at the moment. So one of the things with Heroes Arena is that in your placement matches, if you place high enough, or which I'm actually not 100% sure what's in these boxes. Okay, so even at the very lowest rank, even if you're only getting a couple of these boxes, there are gems guaranteed out of these. I just did my my challenger matches earlier today. I unfortunately didn't finish with the most or the lowest amount of teams that I possibly could have, but I did get 4 chests. Just opening these chests from doing Heroes Arena does get you gems. I think if you're like a newer player or like brand new, you're probably not going to be able to participate in Heroes Arena, so this probably isn't going to be something that you can really take advantage of just yet. But do note that if you're far enough along and you have enough teams built for it and you think you can get through some of your Heroes Arena seasons, feel free to. Just doing it each week will get you at least a couple of boxes, which do have some extra gems in there. But other than that, I don't think that there's really much that you can work on. I mean, the only other thing that I really do is I do have an affection team I think it's right here. Basically, all I do is I just go to the menu right here, Affection, and I can see which characters are missing hearts, and if any time that I'm going to skip ticket a stage, whether it be for gold farming or XP pot farming or book farming, whatever I'm doing, if I'm skip ticketing, I try to use the Affection team as much as possible, because those are going to be characters that I can actually gain hearts of affection with, and for each affection heart, you can reach these milestones, which give you gems. I think, as you can see here, there's a 10 gem reward, and then it's 5, 5, 5, 5, and then another 10 gem reward. So I've obviously been playing the game for a really long time, so I'm towards the end of it here. They max you out at 250 hearts, unfortunately. Hopefully they'll add more to that eventually, because there are still a lot of characters that I don't have max affection with, but every time they add a new character, that character will gain 2 extra hearts of affection that you can work towards. So this one's a bit inconsistent as well, but you can technically just farm with a team that you don't have max affection with, and that will slowly sort of get you gems from time to time. But other than that, I guess you could technically do your just like challenge quests. These are they're under the achievement section here. They're kind of tough to do a lot of the times, just because they're going to be just random things that don't really get to a whole lot, or might not, you know, technically be worth doing at the time. Like this is, I'm not obviously going to be able to do under 200 runs of World Tree anytime soon, so that's going to be something very slowly worked on. And once you reach enough achievement points, you do get a small sum of diamonds there, which is nice. Like there are a decent amount of quests that you can kind of work on, but for the most part, this is also going to be super inconsistent. So that's pretty much all I have for you as far as I know. I think those are like the main ways that you can actually get gems. Honestly, just play the game. That's my best advice for you. Doing your dailies, even if you don't feel like playing the game, like your dailies don't really take too long. If you have skip tickets saved up, you can just skip ticket your way through them a lot of the times. I also get burnt out on the game sometimes too, so I just make sure that I do my dailies at the very minimum for a day, and then make sure that you're, you know, just logging in at least, you know, once a week to collect your PvP gems on Mondays. That's when it resets. That's a really great time to just hop in, grab your PvP gems. Even if you're not going to play PvP, just collect them, and you can kind of move on from there. So yeah, I don't know, work on some gear if you need to. Do main story. Honestly, the main story, if you're not completely caught up, can be a really, really nice boost in gems. Obviously, some of the matches get really, really tough. Like towards the end here, we've got some Demon King fights that are incredibly annoying. Even before that, there's some like OG demon fights and stuff that are pretty annoying as well. But for each chapter that you complete, you get 30 gems. If you're in the very first beginning chapters and you're a newer player, there are going to be some different quests that you have to do to sort of max out your affection with each village, and once you do that, you'll actually get your 30 gems from those first couple of sections. There's some side stories like Ragnarok, and there's even a movie one that nobody really cares about too much, and then also there is the Catastrophe story, which there's not even a second chapter of Catastrophe story as the time of me recording this, so we haven't even got the first set of diamonds from that just yet. But yeah, there's a couple of different ways. You just kind of have to continue to play the game. That's obviously their goal. They want you to play the game as much as possible. So just logging in at least each day, trying to get your dailies done and stuff like that is going to be your best bet. So that's pretty much it for me. If you have any ways that you get diamonds that I maybe didn't mention, or that I just completely forgot about, or whatever, feel free to leave a comment down below. I'm sure it'll help somebody out, but that is it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to subscribe if you're new, and I will see you tomorrow.